Uh,
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We'll be right back up after the intro. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday PD.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
I'm Dr. Sheka Houston,
And I am Tammy Taylor.
and we're welcoming you to our R.E.A.L.L Academy. We wanted to do a quick introduction to, if anyone is new, just let you know why we are doing what we do every Saturday. Tammy and I were both turnaround principals. We, with our great staff members, were able to bring our schools. I was at a middle school up 2 report card grade levels, and Tammy's school went up 3 report card grade levels in 1 year. And in order to try to help people not experience the pitfalls that we did, we decided to try to offer something that would help leaders, because we know that during this time, things are a lot more difficult before, with the pandemic going on. So we just want to try to help people as much as possible. Our website really defines exactly what we do. So Tammy is going to bring that on the screen, and I'm going to show you exactly what we do.
Absolutely. And while we're bringing up the website, we know that the struggle with administration is real. So, as Sheka said, paying this forward is something that's really important to us.
Definitely. So as you can see, Create and Educate is our business where we offer educational consulting, and we are a literary firm as well. So we work with educators and also other organizations. NWEA recognized the work that took place at Tammy's school and is one of our affiliates, as you can see here on our website. They conducted a case study that is outlined. If you go to the website, just click on it. You can see all of the information from the case study. And Tammy is also a contributor to the NWEA blog. So when you have some time, make sure you check that out. Why you should be listening to us. This gives you all of the information about our background. Between the two of us, we have over 40 years of experience at the school level. We've been in various leadership positions, and we have basically instituted several programs and received lots of recognition in our state for the things that we've done at the school. So just take some time to read through that. But the services that we offer in education include our SEL reading program that we're going to talk about today. And our catalog is also on the website. When you click here, it will outline what we are really very proud of, and that is our 5 super strengths to a real resilient school. These are really the things that helped take our schools to the next level. And these 5 super strengths are respect, excellence, accountability, literacy, and leadership. So we work with school leaders, school leadership teams to make sure that you are instituting these strategies to help your school really become resilient. So if you go through the catalog, it goes through our complete framework, including what we offer on literacy, as well as how your school can become a certified Phoenix school. And lastly, the other resources that we offer, if you need some things that engages your staff or your parents, the collaborative is something that we host on Tuesdays, and you can click here to go to the previous broadcast. But a lot of times you need things to introduce a topic, or maybe you just need a different voice. You can use any of these free videos that we have from the collaborative to engage your staff members and your parents. And we also have our catalog where we work with independent authors to be able to bring you more diverse libraries and literature offerings to your students. And if you have not reserved your copy of It Doesn't Have to Be Lonely at the top, that roller coaster ride journey that we talked about in leadership is all outlined in our book, along with how we instituted those things from the R.E.A.L. framework to really help improve our schools. So if you haven't reserved your copy of that, you're able to do that on the website or purchase our previous book from our website where we were featured in Women Who Lead. And if you haven't already followed us on the different platforms, our platforms are listed at the bottom of the website. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We have a Spreaker page, Twitter, and also Instagram. So thank you so much. And we are ready to get started. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Yes, happy Saturday.
We are so happy to be with y'all this morning.
Yes, excited that you all are joining us in the R.E.A.L.L Academy. As we talked about in the intro, we are going to be talking about, Tammy, you want to introduce what we're talking about?
Sure, we can. I certainly can. And before we go into that, I wanted to just say thank you so much, Principal Hurt, for an amazing session this morning and a great segue into what we are going to be talking about today. And we are super excited to be able to come to you between these two magnanimous giants. Principal Hurt came on with power this morning with the 7 traits of an effective school leader, and we are super duper excited for Principal Kafele's work this morning when he's going to be talking with Dr. Todd Whitaker. I am so stoked. We're just so super excited. So we are sandwiched between these two fellas, and we this morning want to talk with you about how, as school leaders, you can gain the respect of your staff. And we want to talk about why that is so important, because we really understand that now, especially, the dynamics in the school can be very or at least they feel like they're off center because of all of the things that are happening and how much work is required to try to help kids to get caught up and to navigate things in these uncertain times while people and things are looking better, but people are still getting sick from the virus and kids are still having to quarantine. We have a lot of different things that we are having to navigate through. And what we want to do is just help you, especially some of you who might be new to the principalship, or some people who are on here that might be aspiring to be principals one day. We want to give you some tips for being able to gain the respect of your staff and truly gain that respect from them. And Sheka's going to share with you something that's really important to us, because we're going to start that discussion by saying that the first thing that you can do is give respect. And that's a part of the work that we do.
Definitely. And Tammy and I have talked about this previously, and just making sure we're saying good morning to everyone. I see R.E.A.L.L, my Aunt Virginia, Principal Hurt. We got Principal Kafele, and happy birthday again, Principal Kafele.
Yes, happy birthday.
Celebrated a birthday this week. Kim, good morning. And we got Jennifer. We got Mr. Hicks. Good morning, everyone. And also all the way from Alaska, Miss Wilkins. Thank you all for joining us in R.E.A.L.L.
Thank you, guys.
But yes, you definitely have to give respect. And Tammy laughs when I call this my George Jefferson syndrome. People that are walking around that's just caught up in the title and, with their hands behind their backs, just strutting along, you're going to respect me because I'm in charge. That does not work with people. So we want to make sure as leaders that you are definitely successful, especially in these changing times, because I just shared with someone else from our central office that in a county right above us, they've lost 500 teachers since August. So making sure that we have the respect of our staff is very important. And as we referenced our framework, that is the door that is on our framework, and it's there intentionally for a reason, because if you don't have that respect, you're not even going to get to the other things that are so important to be able to move a school. And
Absolutely.
when we talk about just showing respect, just very simply treating people how you want to be treated. It's not that I'm respected because I have this title. I have to show people by being human, by being relatable, by being personable, that I respect you as a person, not just that I have a position where I have authority and I can exercise that authority, but really showing people true respect. And I think sometimes in leadership, you have a perception that you have to be a certain way to be perceived correctly as a leader, and we need to get away from that, because like I said, times are changing, and people have other options. We have to make sure that we're showing teachers that they are respected in this profession.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Sheka and I had talked about as we were preparing was making sure that we really pay attention and address that whole misconception that you are going to have to posture for people to recognize that you're the leader of the school, and you don't have to do that. Everybody that comes to that building can and will know that you're the principal. You don't have to tell people that. And you don't have to act a certain way to lord yourselves over people for them to understand that you're principal. The other thing that I thought, Sheka, we probably can just footnote here is when we were sharing, we were talking also about just because people, we don't want you to confuse compliance with respect, because sometimes people will do what you want them to do and not have a whole lot of respect for you.
That's right. I love you too, Aunt Virginia. Thank you for joining us. You're right, Tammy. People will do what they're told to do because they want their jobs, and they want to maintain their income, but that doesn't mean that they respect you. So garnering that respect is a whole different thing than just having a title and sending out things that you are expecting people to do. It's actions behind that. Another one that's on our list, Tammy, is not being a micromanager.
Right.
And sometimes as a new leader, you have so many things that's in the forefront of your mind, of your vision, and you really want it to go out well. You want to do well. You want to perform well. But respecting teachers is that once you have that buy-in from them for the vision, and it should be a vision that you all develop together, because that's another way that you get that respect. You have to trust them to say, hey, this is what we've decided. And, if you have questions, if you need help, I'm here to help you through that. But I trust you as a professional to do your job.
Right. And that whole micromanaging sends the message that you don't trust them.
Right.
If you tell somebody something to do, then you have to respect the way that they get it done.
Right.
Or that makes them think that you don't trust the way that they're going to do it because they have to do it your way. And
Right.
that does not always work. One of the things that I'm just going to offer, and we're going to just step back for a second to the respect. If you want to do a litmus test to see if your folks really respect you, take a day off and see if they continue to do what they're supposed to do. If they're doing it outside your presence and they are making sure that they continue to do what they do because they're committed to the work, then you know that there is a level of respect there. But when you're not there and everybody's kind of loosey-goosey and like, oh, thank the Lord, she's out today, that kind of sends the message that maybe there is some work that needs to be done on building that respectful culture in your school.
Right. And I like Kimberly's comment about she's noticed that kids will ask adults who are active, present, and carry themselves a certain way if they are principals. And the children do recognize,
Yes.
when there's authority and what's to be respected, they recognize that, and they recognize teachers who carry themselves a certain way. So I'm glad you brought that up, Kimberly,
Yes,
because you're
that
right.
is absolutely true.
And Josh says respect is earned. It definitely is.
Yes, absolutely.
The other one of the next things on our list is to seek out feedback. And I call this, there's some people who will seek out feedback, but they don't receive the feedback. So if you're sending out something and you're getting feedback from people, but the feedback is not necessarily what you wanted to hear or what you thought it was or should be, and then you start to deflect on, oh, well, they're not talking about me. This is now, if I've sent it out from the district, oh, the teachers are talking about the principals. The principals have to do a better job of XYZ, instead of me reflecting on what I need to do. I call that the Teflon mentality, that nothing sticks to you, everything slides off. We as leaders have to be reflective, and we have to make sure that when we're really seeking out feedback, that we take it and we just, do something with it. Not that we're taking
Absolutely.
it saying, oh, well, they can't be talking about me because I'm perfect. There is
Right.
no such thing as perfection. We can only get the feedback to get better, and we all have areas to improve upon.
And that's the thing that I love about the message that Principal Kafele always sends. That mirror is why you need that feedback, because you want to reflect on the practices that you have in place. So if you're getting feedback from your staff that says this isn't working, you know that there's something that you might need to do to really shift the way that things are moving in your building. And I love the comment that we have up here from
Mr. Hicks.
Central Hicks that says
Mm-hmm.
that there's always been a level of respect for leaders who are willing to get into the trenches and also get the work done, which is one of the things that's on our list,
Mm-hmm.
showing your work ethic. If you are willing to roll up your sleeves and get in there with the staff, then they develop a level of respect for you, to know that you're not just sending like disseminating the work that is your work. And I do know that there is a level of delegation, because that's something that Principal Hurt talked about today. That's a part of empowering your leadership within the building. But they need to see that you don't mind getting in there, getting your hands dirty either. I will go in and co-teach a class in a minute. I'll model a lesson so that teachers understand, look, I'm right here with you, because the end goal is the same for all of us. We want to see our kids move.
Definitely. And one other thing on our list, and I know we're getting to our time soon, admit wrongdoings. Sometimes as you're reflecting what we've just talked about and you're getting that feedback, sometimes you have to say, hey, well, you know what, you all have brought up a really good point. I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough to bring that up. Let's rethink this. Let's, look at this another way. You have to be able to be vulnerable with your staff and not have the mindset that, as the leader, that, oh, well, I've got to have all the answers and everything that I say has to be correct. No, we are all working in new territories together. We're all working on the vision together.
It
And
is a very important aspect of that humanization that Sheka was talking about. That happened this week, right? I mean, in my office, to me, my secretary came in and said, Miss Taylor, please send something out and make sure that the teachers know that today is not the day for report cards. Everybody is in panic mode because you said that we were supposed to send report cards home on Tuesday, but they actually go out tomorrow. So I had to immediately, because they were bombarding her with, oh, we need them. We need our report cards. Miss Taylor said, send them home. We got to get these report cards out. So I was like, guys, this is completely me. I have been telling you this for weeks. It's the wrong day. The report cards go out tomorrow. So we can all calm down. Everything's ready. We'll have them ready for you tomorrow. But guess what? I had to own that because that was my mistake.
Right. And we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. That's a part of it. But you have to be a big enough person to say, "Hey, you know what? I messed that all up. Let's, continue with this." And
Yeah.
people respect that. They really do. And the last thing on our list, and I was really happy as I was transitioning to my new position that a lot of things on my book that they gave me when I was leaving the principalship was fearless leader. So I think I might have done this pretty well. Having your teachers' backs. Um, we have to advocate for teachers because when we talk about the position being something that's respected, sometimes there's people that's very far away from that position that we have to kind of remind, this is what that's like. So you can't feel like, oh, well, in this position, I want to look a certain way as a leader, and I want people to perceive me a certain way as a leader. So as they're saying things, I know this really doesn't sound good, and this is not the best thing for children or teachers, but I'm just going to go along with it. So I don't look a certain way. If something is not right for children and teachers, we have to speak up no matter how far up the ladder you get or how you're perceived. You say things professionally and respectfully, but we have to advocate for teachers because the mindset of just pushing everything down on the teacher, that is not going to work. That's how you're going to lose people.
For sure. And I do think that another area that we can just encourage you to have your teachers' backs or your staff's back with parents. And we all want to be on that same team. That collaborative culture that we saw Dr. Ross comment on is essential to having a successful school. But
Mm-hmm.
it could be something as simple as the car line duty. I
Mm-hmm.
have to protect the people, sometimes like my car callers. They're not allowed to dismiss a child without the parent having a car tag. The
Mm-hmm.
parents go off sometimes on them. And what I have to do is say, hey, they're only doing what I've asked them to do. And
Right.
when you support your teachers and your staff like that, they know that you have their back and they know that you're going to be there to stand in and cover whenever that is something that needs to happen. The last thing, and before we go, because we're getting out of the way for Principal Kafele, is I'm going to say another thing that we want to encourage you to do to keep the respect of your staff is to always be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Be consistent with what you do and what you stand for, because the one thing that staff members are going to crucify you for is wavering, being what they
Mm-hmm.
consider wishy-washy.
Yes.
And if you don't do anything else, stand consistent on what you believe is the right thing to do for children and do it.
Exactly. And Tammy's exactly right. And I will say that you won't win every battle that you're trying to fight for teachers or when you're advocating, but the teachers seeing you have the strength to speak up and that you're advocating for them, and like Josh said, like Rita Pearson, be
Be a
that
champion.
champion.
Mhm.
They respect that, and they know that you have their backs, and when they know that you have their backs, their work ethic will look a
Absolutely.
lot different than feeling as if, oh, well, every time something comes down, we just have somebody who's going to roll with the punches and never
Exactly.
speaks up about anything. And we know that every district and every leadership position, there may be some toxicity that exists at your central level. So
Yeah,
you have to know how to navigate that appropriately where you're still, protecting yourself, but that you're
exactly.
still respectfully speaking up for.
I'm tell you what, Josh, thank you so much for that, because that's another thing that I think we should all take from this. We always talk about being a champion for the kids because we know that's what we're there for. But you're right. We do have to be a champion for our staff as well.
We do.
And we got to go.
Yes,
So
yes.
we will not be in Principal Kafele space. Guys, thank y'all. This was great. We're so appreciative of everybody joining.
Yes, thank you. And we hope you garnered something for this, and join us over on Principal Kafele's page. He has
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker that is going to be joining him. So we know that it's going to be powerful. And
Yes.
Visit our website if you need any of the resources that we talked about today and you haven't reserved your copy of the book. Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Yes.